Hey, out on the deck, enjoying a beautiful, really beautiful summer evening. It's Friday. Had a colonoscopy earlier, so I'm off work. Highly recommend you guys get that done if you haven't. I think I said that in another video, but it's worth repeating. If you're mid-40s or so, you ought to think about it. That's about when I started thinking about it. I didn't get it done right away, but I did get it done eventually. But if you hit 50, you should definitely get it done. Here is a box. It is a big one. And I just opened the top. I haven't opened the whole thing yet. I'm curious to see what kind of quality I get. It's not Brambleberry soap making supplies, as you might imagine. I bought this from a library out of San Antonio, Texas. They had evidently got it on, got it in as a donation, probably, I'm guessing. And as a result, they had it up on eBay. And, I pride myself on getting some good deals, but this one was freaking great. And I really wanted to get this set for a lot of reasons. It's hard to find. It's out of print. It was one of my favorite television shows, certainly in the last 20 years, and watched it religiously each week when it was on. I couldn't wait to see the creativity and what would happen with the characters. And in a lot of ways, it was a coming-of-age story. In a lot of ways, it was more than that. But a lot of people didn't watch it because it got kind of a bad rap, I guess. The title alone might have given it a bad rap. So I did see the top, which looks in great shape, considering that it's not new, and considering what I paid. So I'm going to take it out of here in the bag first, because there's a lot of these little things here, these little peanut things that I cannot stand. But I like them when they pack them in with my stuff, except for when I have to deal with them. Okay, so let me take that over there, move the box out of the way, so I can show you guys this. Yeah, it's nice and clean here now. Very good. All right, let's see. It looks, considering it looks in really good shape. I say considering it's used, because it's really nice shape. All right, I'm happy. I'm talking about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This is the Chosen One collection. And it includes all 7 seasons of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, along with a disc of extras. Should have a booklet, and if I'm really lucky, it'll have a letter from Joss Whedon in here, who's the maker of the show. Let me see if I switch this video around. Let me give that a try. I'm going to try to switch to the other direction and see if I can't get a little better picture on this as I go through this, because I'm not going to hold this up the whole time. And I could do that, but that requires me to shove something in here. Do you have something that I can shove in here that'll just give me that right? Oh, look at that. It's pretty close. Pretty close right there. Pretty close. All right, so let me show you what happens here. So you open this up, and this falls open like this. So that front cover comes down like that. And on the front, you've got a message. And what it says is, and I'll show it like that briefly, then I'll read it. Into each generation a Slayer is born, one girl in all the world, a chosen one born with the strength and skill to fight vampires, to stop the spread of their evil and the swell of their numbers. And then you've got this, which is all 7 seasons, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then you've got the book right here on top. Let me move this out of the way briefly while I show the booklet off. Here's the booklet, and it's thick. It has every episode of every season of the 7 seasons, a brief synopsis of each one, and then various pictures throughout the entire booklet. And then in the beginning, oh, this is nice. This looks brand new, by the way. It looks like this has never been opened. It's not even creased. Joss Whedon shares his favorite Buffy episodes. I don't know how many, but some of his favorite episodes. Let's see, he's got, looks like 12 episodes he's favored. See how many of these I would agree with. Well, he picks some different ones. He didn't pick the one I would pick. The one I would pick as one of my favorite episodes, and I'm going to turn to it right here. It's in season 6, I believe. Could have been 5. I think it was 6 though. And you know, the true fans of Buffy would have known this off the top of their heads. I don't think it is. It's not 6. It must be 5. Anyway, it was one of those. Let's see, I'll be wrong again. It's gotta be 5. Well, now where is it? Apparently, I'm just gonna skip through here until I find this thing. I might have missed it in my little flashing here. It can't be back to season 4, can it? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's in 6. Yeah, it's got to be in 6. Somehow I missed it, I think, when I was skipping through. Oh, here it is. It is in season 6, episode 7, and it's Once More with Feeling. It's a musical extravaganza, and if you've never seen it, I think it's Joss Whedon at his somewhat most genius. But so you've got this as part of it. You've also got this extra disc, which has apparently never been opened. I think this is almost brand new. So you've got this extra disc. It's never before seen. It's only on this version. As far as I know, it's got 5 all-new featurettes, which include Breaking Barriers, It's Not a Chick Fight Thing, The Evolution of Buffy's Fighting Style, Love Bites, Relationships in the Buffyverse, Evil Fiends, Meet Your Favorite Buffy Demons, Buffy, An Unlikely Role Model, Why We Want to Be Buffy, and finally, favorite episodes, The Chosen Ones from the cast and crew. We see Joss Whedon's here, but the others will get to pick their favorite episode. Then, yes, it does have the letter. This is the only thing that looks worn, probably because they didn't really care about it, but I do. This is a letter from, it's obviously not, he didn't sign it personally, but it's a letter talking to him, talking about what the show meant to him, and so on. And each one of these then comes in a digibook style. Of course, each one makes up a picture of the overall picture here. These are in great shape, by the way. And then each one has discs in them. Like that. Look to be in great shape. Yeah. I would say they are. Great shape. Almost looks new. It looks like maybe it was played once, possibly. I don't know. But really happy to pick this up. If you're curious what I paid for it, I don't mind telling you. I paid for this entire set, shipped to my door, $20. $20 for Buffy the Vampire Slayer, The Chosen One. I got lucky that it was a collection from a library. It was probably donated by somebody, I'm guessing. And so they were just looking to make a few bucks off of it. And they did. They made 20 bucks off of it. Less the shipping charge, which I'm going to guess wasn't cheap. I didn't look to see what it cost to ship it, but couldn't have been cheap from Texas to here. I can't tell what they paid. But it was 5 pounds, 8 ounces. So it's not light. Anyway, I'm really happy, really excited to pick this up for my collection. 20 bucks is cheap. I know it says there's a little bow in it, but that's not going to bother me much. I'm happy with it, really happy with it actually. And I will add that to the collection and can't wait to rewatch some of these episodes. Now I actually own the DVDs. So why would you buy this? Well, I like this. I like the compact nature of it. I like the extras, the 5 featurettes that were on it. And I like the box. It's going to fit nicely on my shelf as compared to the, much more space it takes up the DVDs that I have. I can sell those DVDs if I'd like, and maybe I'll do that. Or maybe I'll just keep the booklets. I don't know. The booklets probably don't tell me much more than this, and I just like it all in one booklet like this has. I like the fact that it flips down like this, and just like this style. It's similar to the Hammer set that I got from the UK. It's very similar in that regard, and I really like it. So that's it. That might be the best thing I've ever gotten on eBay for the best price. If it isn't, it's right up there. So before I finish up this video, I just wanted to talk a little bit about why I like Buffy the Vampire Slayer as a series. I mentioned it was kind of a coming of age. You know, it's really not about vampires and demons and other monsters. It's really about growing up and relationships and how hard it is to grow up. And that's why I think overall as a series, Buffy worked a lot better in the first like 3 series, or first 3 seasons I should say. I'm getting my British terms here mixed in. But in the first 3 seasons, I thought Buffy worked the best because it was all about high school life and not fitting in. And you know, despite the fact that she walks around with a stake in her purse half the time and goes out and patrols and finds vampires, it's really more about her relationships with the cheerleaders, the cool kids, trying to help some of the kids that aren't as cool. You know, one episode to me sums up the beauty of the series, and I think it was called like The Invisible Girl or something. But it's not what you think. It's not like somebody was experimenting in a lab and found something to make them invisible. It's kind of like she was in the classroom day after day, raising her hand and never getting called on, and never getting spoken to, and not having any friends, and sitting by herself at lunch. And everybody can relate to that, whether it was or know somebody that it affected that way. Everybody's felt a little invisible from time to time, but she's looking at her hand in class, and all of a sudden her hand just disappears, and then she just disappears, and then she's invisible. So and then of course you know, some hijinks ensue at that point, but the key to it wasn't so much that she was, you know, doing bad stuff when she turned invisible. The key to it was that she turned invisible in the first place, and why she turned invisible. So I always thought that was a really good episode. I mentioned Once More with Feeling, probably my favorite episode of the whole series, although I've got a bunch. I just thought it was so clever, so well done. The music was so catchy and so good. Yes, it was a musical, so it's got that musical flair. You know, kind of like a Rocky Horror, or a I don't want to make it about Rocky Horror because it's really not in that exact style, but it is rock music, along with some other types of genres mixed in there. You've got Tony Head, who played Giles. I think it was Tony Head, yeah, who played Giles. Makes albums. He was a singer. Same thing with James Marston's. Yeah, he played Spike. But everybody did a great job. Even those that aren't singers, you know, kind of pulled it together for this thing. And even though their voice might not have been the greatest, it actually worked in the musical. So really great stuff there. I was really pleased to see that, and pleased to find that as I was watching the series and just have it start out as a musical. There's another episode called Hush, where, and Joss Whedon has said this is one of the hardest episodes to make, even though you'd think it'd be easy, and the cast thought so too. No dialogue. In the whole episode, because of a spell, there's no sound. There's no voice, there's no sound. Everything is quiet. So, because they can't speak, there's no lines to learn. But it was some of the hardest things, they said, because of timing. When you've got a line, you know when it's your turn to do action, because it's precipitated off somebody else's line. Well, it's not the case when they're not speaking. So people were doing stuff at the same time. It was chaotic, and it was a really difficult episode to film. And I'm hoping there's a commentary on that one. I don't recall, but I'm hoping there's a commentary on that one. It's called Hush. Anyway, that's why I like Buffy. That's part of the reason I like Buffy. And part of the reason I was really excited to get this set. I'm going to revisit the set now, and really excited to be able to do that. And yeah, always nice to add something to your collection for that kind of price. Even though I already had it once, for that price I could not pass it up. So the collectors know what I'm talking about. All right, guys, you take care, and have a good day.